how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Amazing. I'm doing great. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on today. You're my first Empower Her Women of the Year.
Wow, what a title. I'm so blessed. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So the series is about women who have transitioned from something. So it could be from a business, like a career woman to a mom, or a mom to a entrepreneur, anything from. I just want women to show their transition from one state to another, and women who really basically taken the plunge and left fear behind. So, and I think that you're my very first, and you're the person I thought of from all the people I know. I'm like, I want Sandra's story.
Thank you so much. Well, yeah, for sure. I took a big plunge. I've been working in fashion industry related jobs,
Mm-hmm.
from marketing to management to PR since I was 18. And just recently, like right around COVID, I decided to become an entrepreneur. I had been an entrepreneur. I always had that fiber of like starting projects. I really love taking on, new creative ideas and just seeing them through. And I was lucky that for the last 18 years, I was working for a company that would give me budgets and let me go, and I would just have ideas and go with it. So during COVID, when everything stopped, and I just thought, okay, what's next for me for my career? Like, I have so many years left to work. What do I want to do with them? And just one night, I told my husband, I'm not going back to work. I'm gonna start my own thing. That's my own, that I own, and that's my idea, and that I have creative control from A to Z, and just my own. And the plunge was actually super easy. It wasn't scary at all. Um, I mean, I have a great husband that supports me so much, and he works. So, when you're alone and you're not working and you don't have income, it can be very scary. When you're in a two-person household, it's a little less scary when you have support. But yeah, I had some, like a package from my employer. I had my support from my husband. I had a great idea, which I'll share with you, which I, in my gut, could tell that it was going to be big. It was going to, make a difference for my customers. And I told myself, okay, this is it. I'm not going back. Like the rest of my career I have left to work will be for myself as an entrepreneur. And that's how my company was born. Justine Haines.
Okay. Okay. So that's like a little prequel, and I love it. So a little teaser for everybody. Now, Sandra is like my friend, my family. So I just wanted to let you know the relation between me and Sandra. But I want everyone to know, like, Sandra Parker, what is your background? Your some of your education, where you're located, just
Yeah.
some details.
Yeah. So I went to fashion school in Montreal. And as I was saying before, all my career I've spent working in jobs relating to retail or fashion, management, merchandising, um, even education and and PR. So really, like, I became in Montreal kind of like a reference or a um I was known as someone who knew so many people because I just love to meet people. So then I was promoted into PR because I would like be the kind of person that would just either land contracts or match people together or attract, a clientele to be interested in our company. So I became just as like a social butterfly in the fashion scene. So if you were ever in Montreal, and even like I've traveled Canada, where when it comes to fashion, I've visited pretty much every fashion school, every fashion manufacturer, retailer. So yeah, so my name became synonymous with, fashion and the production of it, the sales of it, the merchandising of it, and the fashion shows and all of that. So I was like a little fashionista here in Montreal.
I can attest to that because Sandra is always very well put together, and any occasion and whatever it is, even when she's like going out for a run. So, when I used to remember, I used to live in Vancouver and you used to come visit me, used to go runs on the beach and stuff. Sandra's always like, she's always very well put together. You can tell, like, in her mind, in a sense, always has the fashion sense. So, in your transition, because I'm a mindset coach, so I want to hear in part, I want you to share with others what mindset it took for you. But you said it was easy, but I want to hear your words express exactly what
Yeah.
it was that made it easy for you. Because
So, I mean, I'm saying it was easy, and looking back, I know I lost some sleep for sure. It's like you say, giving birth to my baby was easy, but if you really look back, yeah, it was hard and it hurt. So yeah, it's scary. It's scary, but like starting a new job is scary, getting married is scary, buying a home is scary, but it's a good scary because you're finding solutions yourself to your problems. You're solving your own, let's say, stress or anxiety by like the satisfaction that you get from resolving problems that belong to you and not someone else. It's so great and it feeds you and it helps you to go on. So now, if you're asking me, was it easy? Like I'm telling you, it was easy. Now looking back, yeah, I remember thinking, oh my, I used to have this salary that came into my account every 2 weeks for you know 25, 30 years. Just like that, it's gone. So yeah, there's anxiety, but there's the pluses are so great that kind of like having a child, you forget about the bad parts or the high stresses.
oh, I love that. Okay, so in your experience where you overcame your challenges,
Yeah.
okay, what kept you going though?
The vision of how big what I'm doing will get.
Mhm.
Just like, a heads up, I'm not there yet, but I see it. I saw it. Like I've grown since I've started and I continue to grow, but I see the vision. I see myself in a year. I see myself in 5 years. I see myself in 10 years. Like it's going to grow and it's going to be a big success and I can see it and I could feel it. So that's kind of like it's like kind of like you mentioned running before. It's like you're just at mile one, but you'll get to 26 and it's going to be amazing. So you just keep going because you see the vision. And yeah, you know him because you mentioned we're connected through family. My husband's amazing. Like if I have a bad day, he just picks me up. Like I'm really, um, it's not necessary to be in a great relationship to succeed in business or in life. But if you have it, I mean, like you've got something to like you got a crutch or just like you got support all the time. I
Yeah,
don't get to have a bad day, so that's really amazing. He's like my biggest cheerleader.
I love that. Support is good. You need a team.
Yeah,
Honestly, it's true what they say where nobody goes it alone. Like there is always somebody. So in your case, the great woman has a great man behind her. That kind of thing.
for years I worked in teams and I got, great evaluations and I got a lot of praise from my peers or from customers or clients or whoever. So that feeds you and it keeps you going. And then when you become an entrepreneur and you don't have that anymore, you need support. If you're living alone and you don't have a partner, there's support out there. It could be your best friend, it could be your sister, I'm part of a women's platform that's called the Forum, which if you're a woman, you need to be on there. It's amazing. It's a non-for-profit and they have weekly meetings, they have mentorship programs. You could be a mentor, you could be a mentee. So you don't have to get support in the form only of a husband or a wife
Mhm.
or a boyfriend or a girlfriend or whoever. Support is out there if you look for it. There's people just like you that can be a buddy or so it's not just that, but the fact that I have it definitely is a plus in my life.
I love that. So did you use any other kind of support in terms of like a professional support?
Absolutely.
Solutions?
So when I started, I barely knew how to use Excel, and I told my husband I'm going to launch an e-com store. So here I go. I'm digitally I know how to use social media. I've never created content as far as like digital videos. E-commerce, I was like, what is that? Like, so I had to learn everything by myself, and I knew I'm gonna fail if I don't get support. So the first thing I did is I bought a course that had like weekly, it's like a non-credited course, but it was like very structured for someone who wanted to go into e-com. So, YouTube is not enough. You'll end up investing money that you could make mistakes that, you wouldn't have made if you had a professional guiding you and helping you structure. And also like having a business plan. I have a business background, and I've written business plans for work, and still, I wanted a professional to look at my business plan, look at my financials, tell me if it makes sense, because again, doing it on YouTube, you risk losing time, losing money. So when I started, yeah, I invested in a course, I invested in a coach, and then later on with the BDC, with a consultant. And now I have a mentor with the forum that I pay, that's someone that I pay. And soon I'll be like signing a contract with a marketing firm, so that I can have someone like weekly look at my goals, my strategies, my advertising. Advertising online is not, again, you can't just look at YouTube and look at a video. You're spending your hard-earned money on placing ads. Get a pro, and they cost a lot, but you need to get a pro that's going to tell you. You wouldn't like be a doctor to yourself, right? You go see a doctor that's going to tell you in 5 minutes what you need to do with your health. Well, a consultant for certain things, you need a pro to tell you before you spend thousands of dollars on advertising. Um, Anyways, for me, I found that, it pays off.
So I don't know if you realize, but you're already stepping into your role as the big business lady. This is like the action you take. So a lot of people, when they dream about something, or they want something, like their business to explode, you have the vision. So that's like a given already. I can already see this is happening for sure, because you have it and you're working towards that vision. A lot of people don't walk into that, and I
Mhm.
think it's great that you mentioned it. I just want to highlight it so people understand the, really the impact that of your words and what you're saying, that, you're investing in professionals. And it's really important, investing in the professionals and investing in yourself, investing in your business. And I love that you can respect that people out there are, they're specializing in things to help people, and you can't do it all yourself, but
Yes,
you have to outsource, right? Like, you have a lawyer, you have an accountant, you have a marketing team. These are the things people do when they're ready to explode. Okay,
yes.
the truth. And
On
so
the
I can
other
see that.
hand, like there's certain things, like for example, creating content. I'm an artistic person, and
Mhm.
so at first I paid someone to do the artwork, and I kept saying, well, can you change the color a little bit? Can you curve this a little bit? And so I was telling him what to do every step of the way, and then it was like, I wish I could just draw it and tell him this is what I want, right? So I got Canva Pro, and I learned and I practiced and I got better, and I learned and I practiced and I got better. And so now creating digital content is something I will never pay for, because I became good at it and I really enjoy it. So you don't have to outsource everything. You can learn and become great, just like placing ads. If this is something that is within you, you can learn it and study it. For me, I've tried. It doesn't. I don't know how. It's really like gambling or playing poker. It's like you have it or you don't have it. This is not a skill that I own. I just don't have it. I place ads. I try to understand my stats. I'm not great at it, but creating content, social media, interacting with customer service. I know where my skills are. It's really important to know where your skills are, and you can perfect them. And then where your skills are not, then it's worth it to pay someone.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to respect what you're not good at and
Mm.
outsource. Don't try to do it all yourself, but you already know you're artistic. I'm also like that too. Like, I'm artistic and I do know visually where I want to place things on an ad. You know, where does the logo go? You
Yeah,
know, where is the QR code? All this and
yeah.
what's visually appealing. Excuse me. So yeah, but I could see where you're going. You're already embodying, you know, the success, you know, the big business and then how it's booming. And you express that in the beginning. You know, I see my, you know, the years to come where it's gonna be. And there's an assuredness, which I love because that's faith. And honestly, you know, people laugh and go woo woo on things like that where when someone's confident about a vision, a person who doesn't have that doesn't understand it. They're like, they think you're being foolhardy and careless when you embody that confidence. And the people who go, you know, I don't know if it's going to happen, I don't know if this is going to work, that whole system of fear-based thinking and walking with that fear is like a surefire failure right there. So, you know, in the mindset world, you're doing it
It's
right.
like a balance. You have to be confident in your product, which I can show you in a minute what my product is. At the same time, there's a great book out there called The Mom Test, which is amazing. If you haven't read it, it's a great book for anyone, whether you're in business or not. And basically, the Mom Test is, you know, you want to start a business, you ask your mom, hey, mom, what do you think of this? Like, would you buy it? And your
Mhm.
mom says, of course. And like, would you pay this amount for it? Of course. And so you stay within your, you know, your circle of support, and they give you all the love in the world, like your mom would. But then you don't go out there and literally ask people that are your target market, would you pay $20 for this? Would you pay for this like on Amazon at Walmart? Like, so then when it flops, then you're like, oh, I was too much in love with it. I didn't really do my homework. So there's like a balance between confidence and work. Like you have to not live in a bubble, and you have to test it out. You have to test, you have to, yeah, you have to validate. Validate's the biggest thing you go into business. You have to love your product, but you have to love your solution more than your product. You know, and so in my case, I can introduce you my product. So my idea was to do period underwear, but we're going to be different from the competition. During COVID, women were starting to use more eco-friendly or sustainable products. They were staying home more. They were more open to trying new things like, you know, reusable diapers, reusable underwear instead of disposable, using disposable period products. So I thought the timing was perfect, but the way I was going to compete with the big giants is I was going to make my stuff super cute and super fashionable, and everything printed with pink, with waistbands that are really fun. So I could show you a few things. So this is one of the prints. So you could see there's like pop art. That's a bra, and you can see my Justine Haines logo. And so everything is like fun, put on myself, fun and fashionable. And you know, you actually like look forward to your period with stuff like that. Well, here's an underwear.
Just out of curiosity, I mean, how much support does it offer you in those?
Okay, so an underwear like this is the short. Uh,
Mhm.
so these can be worn for the equivalent of 6 to 8 tampons. So basically, if that's what you wear in a daytime, you can wear these in a daytime and never have to change. It won't smell. It won't. No bacteria will touch your skin. It's anti-chafing, anti everything. So it's basically like it's gathering everything for you. And when you're done with it, you rinse it and you throw it in the wash. And when it's ready to go in the wash, it'll go in the wash. And then you hang it up.
Okay.
So these like were game changers for girls, and well, girls, women.
We see the
But
bottom, like the
yeah,
bottom. Okay. They're like shorts. Okay.
yeah, these are shorts, and here's a hip hugger. So I soon saw that, you know, um, there like women were loving these, they were loving the prints, they were loving, I did a pop-up shop and I saw that everyone was walking by and thinking that it was bathing suits. And I saw that there was a big gap in the market, not only with period underwear that are cute and fashionable,
Mhm.
But, one of my models once, she said, if there were no seams, like seams on the outside, I could wear it at the gym. And the light bulbs went off, and I said, I'm gonna make this. So
Okay.
I started to design and produce samples to that or activewear that have everything inside, but there's like kind of a netting inside that is trapping everything. From the outside, it looks like regular leggings, regular swimwear, regular yoga wear. So now my project that I'm working on is the collection number 2, which is going to be activewear, the first collection of fashion activewear. All of them have period support inside, like period protection. So you don't need any tampons, no pads, no underwear. You just wear that and you go. And again, like depending if you're wearing the shorts, the long leggings, the yoga one piece, or the bathing suit, it's like 4 to 8 tampons worth. So if you're on your day one and usually, like let's say 4 to 8 tampons that will last, let's say half a day, then you can wear them half a day. If you're on your last day, and like I recently tested them with a marathoner. I'm a marathoner myself, and I can remember running marathons with like a tampon like wrapped in plastic, stuck in my shoe, stuck in my waistband. You have to look for a porta potty to change. It's very uncomfortable. It makes you lose time. You're thinking about it all the time. And so she ran a race with one of my shorts, and it was a half marathon. So she didn't have to change at all. Once she didn't have to think about, she's just focused on her time, and she just flew. And so little things like that we take for granted. You don't have to be a marathoner, but what if you just want to go for a park, go for a walk to the park with your baby, with your stroller for 4 hours, and you don't feel like looking for a bathroom to change. Like you just want to enjoy the park, right? And tampons are not really good for you. And like I said, you have to change them eventually. So I had the light bulb moment, and I started working on this. And so in the next few months, I'm going to be launching a Kickstarter. So anybody who's interested in being part of this revolutionary, new product to come out, you can join the group. And
What's the group?
so the group is period solutions for active gals. And we could put the link. And so there's a private group, and in this group, I ask women their favorite colors. They're helping me actually decide the collection, which is amazing. And I do giveaways, and we talk about periods without shame. We talk about, things that they want to improve, and, the way they have their periods, and the period wear that they wear now. And whenever the launch happens, they're going to be the first to know. So they're going to be the first to be able to pre-order. And the way Kickstarter works is you actually pre-order. So that helps me to order only what women really want, because sometimes we get it wrong. We think, everyone's gonna want, like my number one print is this newspaper print, and it's super cute. It's got all kinds of like pop art in it.
Mhm.
But if you go on my website, this is the number one print, which
Yeah,
is
like a leopard.
the animal, yeah. But this is the one that sells the least, and this is the one that sells the most.
Oh.
So who knows? Like sometimes we get it wrong. Sometimes pictures online are interesting and people click on it. So it tells us that, wow, this is the one that's most beloved, but they don't take it to the basket. So maybe they just like the contrast, but they wouldn't wear it. So Kickstarter is a great way to give people exactly what they want, because as you know, if you've ever like worked retail or done any kind of production overseas, you have to order in big quantities, and you have to make decisions, and you just have to cross your fingers and hope that your decisions for your future customers are going to be what they want. Whereas Kickstarter is the other way around. They select what they want, and once they've told you what they want, then we order exactly that for them. So it's really exciting. It's a really, really exciting way. It's a really revolutionary retail way to produce in 2023.
Well, you know what? I find that it's smart not to waste, because if you're producing 1,000 pieces that nobody wants, what do you do with 1,000 pieces that nobody buys, right? It becomes
Yeah,
a waste. So I find that's pretty intelligent and very
yeah,
smart way to go. There's no waste, you know. You know exactly that person wants this particular style,
yeah.
and you're gonna get that for them. You're not gonna make 10,000 and two people, and then what, right?
Yeah, so Kickstarter started off with as more tech, like people would launch an app and it was more like an invest in the company kind of thing. And
Mm.
now for retail, it's become really big, like a place where they have, I think, something like 100 or 200 million regular buyers. And if you're watching this and you've never been there, you can just go now without an account and shop for products. um, they don't have to accept all the campaigns. So they take campaigns that offer something revolutionary, different, unique, uh, an old twist on something using now. So for example, like I don't know, a smart suitcase that has something that's really different than what you've seen before, for example. And so in the apparel, there's all kinds of super neat things, very neat, like apparel with technology integrated. And it's all things that you wouldn't find in retail right now. So it's really become a neat platform for brands to launch new products and show innovation and validate at the same time, like, and also like you said, not waste because you're ordering just what people want. So yeah,
Mhm.
it's really neat. I didn't know about it, and when I discovered it, I was like, this is the good place for me for my next line set, right?
So the products you have on Kickstarter, are they different from the ones you have on your website?
Yes, so the Kickstarter campaign that I'm getting ready to launch will be the activewear campaign. So right now I'm selling underwear. So if you go on my website, justinehaines.com, you can find all the undies. So it's all for periods. So you got thongs and you got shorts and you have hip huggers and all the cute bras that match. There's also some accessories. So this is what I'm selling now. The next collection will only be available on Kickstarter. So if you want to pre-buy it, that's the only place that you'll be able to get it.
Okay, so just
Until
want
it's
to
like,
let people know that the Justine Haines, the Haines is Haines. So it's yeah, not the Haines,
yeah.
Han.
So my name is actually Justine Haines. She's a fictitious girl that I invented by combining the two loves of my life. So my son's name is Justin. My husband's name is Haines with an I. So when I was thinking of a name, because my name, I thought, it's like an old lady. It's not a young girl, like because my target market, she's 20 to 40, let's say, but she's closer to 20. So I wanted a young name, and I like when I put these two together, I was like, she's perfect. And so I even like drew her, she has red hair, and she's fashionable, and I did everything from the time I wake up. Every time I think of my customer, her name's Justine, and I think of her and what would she wear, what would she like, um, what pictures would she like on social media? Would she like this? What would she like? How would she like me to talk to her? I do everything thinking of my fictitious Justine Haines. Like Justine is what drives me. So if, like you mentioned, like the thing for the arms, this is not something Justine wants right now. So I wouldn't do that because she is looking for things that are, you know, fashionable. And she doesn't have this issue. Her issue is that she wants to be carefree during her period and fashionable. So everything I do, and this, if anybody, even if one person is watching this, it's the most important thing I'm going to tell you today is if you're not selling, focus on that one person who we call them avatar or your target market. You're going to sell to no one. So if you want to sell your product to, I don't know, men and women between 20 and 80 that live in the city or in the country, you're going to sell nothing to no one. You have to be really, really, really specific. Um, I have women in their 50s that buy my underwear. But I do everything for my Justine, and then what trickles around, that's great. You have to always keep in mind what would she want, because yeah, you're gonna end up not selling anything to anyone.
So what's the size range for your product?
I sell extra small to 4XL.
Ooh, okay,
Very inclusive. Yeah, very inclusive.
very good.
Yeah.
Okay. So any last nuggets besides the avatar that you just gave us? Is anything else that you want to impart?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're if you look, there's support out there.
Mhm.
You know, I went to a convention, like a business convention, like entrepreneurship convention, where I met someone from BDC, which later introduced me to someone from Espace Inc., which is like a incubator. So I was part of a 3-month incubator. It cost me like almost nothing. And from there, they introduced me to like people at the forum, which is like the mentorship for women, and which led me to another organization. Like, I mean, networking, get out there, leave your house, leave your comfort zone, go to like I said, like French, like I said, like cocktails, networking cocktails, um, sitting behind your computer screen. Like, I mean, get out from your comfort zone, make a few phone calls, ask people that you aspire to be, like either on LinkedIn or just find them online and say, hey, you have a business, like I admire what you do. Would you have like 5 minutes to have a virtual coffee with me and just answer a few questions and help me? I'm starting out. You know, ask your bank, like just there's so much out there. There's so much out there. I'm on the verge of getting a grant now for digital upgrade. It's a federal program. And again, it was like through this organization led me to this, which led me to this, which led me to, oh, you should apply for this grant. And so there's a lot out there. Don't wait for it to come to you, but it's out there. Just go and take it.
I just want to announce also, Sandra's taking part in We Do Canada, We Do Quebec this year.
Yes, I'm
And I'm really
really looking forward to it. Yeah.
it's a great spot actually for anyone who wants to meet you to come.
Uh,
We're gonna be there, and because I know your products are gonna be showcased, and I would love people to meet you and get to know you and have the opportunity to talk to you some more, because our session is now coming to a close. So I just want to thank you, Sandra.
it
Awesome
was
information,
awesome.
awesome product, awesome everything. Like you went from, one place in like corporate, and now you're building your own business. I mean, that's it's amazing. So you're the perfect person to represent businesswomen in at We Do Quebec.
I'm so
All
excited. I hope to meet you there. If you can't meet me there, you can contact me on LinkedIn. I accept any invitations to connect. Just write me a note. And if you need my help, you have a question, I'll get on the phone with you and answer. It'd be my pleasure. I love to give back because people have helped me so much. So if I can help you, you're starting out, it'll be my pleasure.
So which platforms are you on?
I'm on every platform. If you want to connect professionally, you can reach me on LinkedIn at Sandra Parker. Just find the profile with the pink in the background. And if you're looking for Justine Haines, she's literally everywhere, from like Pinterest to Facebook to Instagram, Twitter, literally everywhere. But for if you want to take advantage of the activewear collection and be part of that closed group, you have to find us on the Facebook group, which is Active Period Solutions for Active Gals. So send a request and I'll accept you. And you can find out about the drop and everything else and win some free stuff.
Awesome. Don't forget Kickstarter, people.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Sandra.
Thanks so much, Bonnie.